This summary provides a detailed overview of A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, capturing the key elements and themes of each chapter while highlighting the overarching narrative of friendship, trauma, and resilience. Introduction. Hanya Yanagihara's novel A Little Life is profoundly touching and intensely emotional. It follows the lives of four college friends, Jude St. Francis, Willem Ragnarsson, Malcolm Irvine, and J.B. Marion, as they traverse the complications of adulthood in New York City. At its foundation, the plot revolves around Jude, a litigator with a horrific history that he strives to overcome. Yanagihara's story is both broad and intimate, delving deeply into topics like friendship, pain, survival, and the search for meaning and forgiveness. Chapter 1, Lisbonite Street. The book begins with the four friends, Jude, Willem, Malcolm, and J.B., adjusting to life in New York City after graduating from college. They live in a little apartment on Lisbonite Street and are at the start of their respective professional lives. Willem is a budding actor, J.B. is an artist, Malcolm is an architect, and Jude is a lawyer. The chapter describes the nature of their friendship and the difficulties they confront while pursuing their aspirations. Chapter 2, The Postman. This chapter explores Jude's past, uncovering details from his horrific childhood. Jude is a profoundly reserved person, and even his closest friends know nothing about his early years. The story alternates between the present and the past, gradually revealing the torture and misery Jude faced. Regardless of his past, Jude is determined to create a fresh life for himself. Chapter 3, Vanities. This chapter is dominated by JB's perspective, which provides insight into his artistic objectives and problems. His connection with his pals, particularly Jude and Willem, is complicated and occasionally strained. JB's art frequently reflects his desire to capture the true nature of his friends, which serves as both an inspiration and a source of stress. Chapter 4, The Axiom of Equality. This chapter delves into the growing friendship between Jude and Willem. Willem's career continues to take off, and he becomes increasingly concerned about Jude's welfare. The two friends have a special bond, and Willem's unwavering support becomes a lifeline for Jude as he deals with his physical and emotional injuries. Chapter 5, The Happy Years. Jude and Willem's bond develops into a love partnership, giving Jude a sense of happiness and stability he has never had before. The chapter concentrates on their lives together and the joy they derive from one another's company. However, Jude's past haunts him, and his self-destructive inclinations are a continual threat to their happiness. Chapter 6, Dear Comrade. The story turns to Malcolm's point of view, describing his professional successes and personal life. Malcolm's journey focuses on his issues with identity and fulfillment, both professionally and personally. His changing connection with his pals, particularly Jude, emphasizes the novel's themes of loyalty and the importance of shared history. Chapter 7, Lisbonite Street, Reprise. Returning to the four friends' shared experiences, this chapter emphasizes the passing of time and the shifts in their lives. Their professions have evolved and they are more established, but their relationship remains strong. The chapter underlines the value of their friendship as a source of strength and stability. Chapter 8, The Impressionist. This chapter is about JB's artistic path and his battle with addiction. JB's friendships get strained as a result of his erratic conduct and substance addiction. The chapter delves into the consequences of his acts on the group, as well as his journey to redemption and a sense of self. Chapter 9, The Only Blasphemy. A series of flashbacks show Jude's past, including the awful treatment he underwent at the hands of Brother Luke and Dr. Traylor. These incidents have left Jude with significant psychological and bodily scars. The chapter also looks at Jude's relationship with his former law professor, Harold Stein, who becomes a father figure and adopts him. Chapter 10, The Happy Years, Reprise. Jude and Willem's friendship is tested as Jude's health deteriorates. Despite Willem and their friends' love and support, Jude's internal fights become more intense. The chapter depicts their efforts to keep their happiness amidst the mounting gloom of Jude's trauma. Chapter 11, Vanities, Reprise. JB's work improves, and he begins to mend his connections with his pals. The chapter emphasizes the ideas of forgiveness and the strength of their friendship. JB's friends continue to inspire his art, which reflects his restored belief in purpose and connection. Chapter 12, Dear Comrade, Reprise. Malcolm's life takes a big change when he marries and begins a family. His architectural profession develops, and he finds contentment. This chapter contrasts Malcolm's development with his companion's continuous troubles, emphasizing the divergent routes they each follow. Chapter 13, The Axiom of Equality, Reprise. Willem's profession flourishes, but his major concern remains Jude's well-being. Their bond is tested when Jude's mental and physical condition deteriorates. The chapter delves into the depths of their love and the compromises they make for each other. Chapter 14, The Postman, Reprise. Jude's struggle with past experiences approaches a breaking point. Despite the support of his friends and Harold, Jude's failure to overcome his trauma leads to a disastrous outcome. The chapter looks into Jude's dying moments and the heartbreaking impact of his death on those who loved him. Conclusion. A Little Life ends with the aftermath of Jude's death. Willem, Malcolm, and JB, the remaining pals, are struggling to cope with their loss. The novel concludes on a gloomy note, focusing on the themes of love, trauma, and the lasting effects of both. The story of Jude St. Francis is a moving reminder of the continuing power of friendship and the human spirit's endurance in the face of unthinkable suffering.